7th, 2025 to order. Roll call, please.
Yes, please. Chair Inamorado.
Present.
Member Hollow.
Here.
Member Kirk.
Here.
Wonderful. So everyone's here. All right, moving on to public comment. Do we have any public comment?
We have no public comment. No one signed up to speak, and none was submitted online.
All right, public comment. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes from November 27,
So moved.
2024? Brilliant.
Second.
Thank you, Member Kirk. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Brilliant. All right. Moving to point 4, the 35th Legislative District Special Election Certification. Do I have a motion? Oh, sorry, go
I
ahead.
could give you some stats if you wanted.
Please
I gave
do.
you some of the details in your packets. In that district, total 43,000 registered voters. There was 97 precincts. All but one to open on time. When one church that was late, board members couldn't get in. They didn't know that a back door was left unlocked for them. We had a total of 10,777 people vote in that election. It was a 25.05% turnout. Besides that, it was a pretty uneventful day. The Democratic candidate won overwhelmingly. That's about it.
Great. How did we find the poll workers for that day?
So when we started contacting poll workers, we go back to the people that served in the last November. And also in the meantime, we asked if they were willing to work the primary as well.
Okay.
Try to kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, brilliant. Do any members have any questions?
I just have a question about the curing of the mail-in ballots. There were 55 were received unsigned or without incorrect dates, and 25 were cured by voters. Did I recently read something that we're gonna be able to count the ones with dates with incorrect dates now?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
As you may recall, we had two companion cases going up, the NAACP case and then the Betty Eakin case. NAACP stayed. Betty Eakin, the same judge who had ruled on that, ruled that once again the dating convention is violative of the Constitution. So we had a day where we had no requirement to count.
One day?
One day, and then an appeal was filed by the Republican National Committee. A stay has not been entered, but we're anticipating that, so we'll see what happens. I think the Department of State is looking at whether or not to segregate or not. We'll get more guidance from the Department of State as briefing schedules come down.
Okay, so we're foreseeing that is still going to be kind of up in the air for the primary?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Excuse me, could you give me a little background on that, since this will be an ongoing issue?
Yes, so back in 2022, in November, litigation was filed by two different cohorts of plaintiffs challenging whether or not the date on the back of the declaration envelope was a violation of the Constitution for various reasons. One case was resolved and brought up to the Third Circuit. In that case, the NAACP said, the NAACP case rather, the federal district court of Allegheny said that it was violative of the Constitution. The Third Circuit reversed based on those legal theories. In the meantime, the Eakin case was proceeding. That's the one where Judge Paradise Baxter will once again, for other constitutional reasons, that the dating requirement violated the Constitution, particularly the First Amendment. So that came down last Monday afternoon, and the following day, the challengers in that case filed their appeal. So it's going back up to the Third Circuit. So we don't have anything definitive right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, Cindy, basically what the argument is how could they vote outside of a legal window, because they didn't get ballots until they were able to get ballots, and they had to be received by election day, so what does the date matter? That's kind of the argument that is being used.
Absolutely.
Got it, yeah, so you have to vote on that by election day, so, yeah,
Right.
I get you, that
Right.
makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Member Kirk,
Thank
do
you.
you have additional questions about the special election certification?
No, it sounds like it was another good efficient election completed.
Okay, great.
So,
moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Great, moving on to new business.
Go after if you want.
Oh, great, thank you. Board of Elections.
Dave, do you want to talk about just general preparations first, please?
I can. For the primary so far, as of Friday, we had 4,950 confirmed poll workers. We normally staff close to 7,000, so we're more than halfway there. We have a total of like 1,600 candidates on our ballots. We're all caught up with mail-in ballot application processing. So far, we've processed 95,470. Of those, 75,000 are Democrat and 18,000 are Republican. Our total voter registration is 907,000. 499,000 Democrat, 264 Republican. That's about where we stand. We're in the process of ballot proofing. Hopefully this week we can get ballot proofs out to the candidates so they can check the spellings of their names. That way we'll be ready to schedule our logic and accuracy testing.
I have a question. Sure.
Member Howell?
Thank you. So does that mean that all of the challenges to petitions and appeals to that have been filed and resolved already, or are there any outstanding?
Appeals are, the last of the appeals are due tomorrow if they're going to be filed.
Okay. And do we have any yet?
We do
No.
not.
Okay. And so if, let's say all goes well, ballot proofs go great, logic and accuracy testing goes great, what is the date that I've been asked by thousands of people, I feel like, that
Yeah.
mail-in ballots will start going
We
out?
always strive and push ourselves to try to get ballots out at least 30 days prior.
30 days
which
prior,
is-
so that's Easter.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're talking 2 weeks tops.
Okay.
Member Howell, do you have additional questions?
That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Member Kirk, do you have questions on that data set?
No, that was actually my question too, that was getting about the, one with mail-in ballots that starts showing up.
Brilliant.
That's the big news in Allegheny County, right?
Yes.
Other than the I voted stickers, I mean, I think that's the big news. These are nice. These are very
I
nice.
have more big news.
Okay,
What?
thank you, Director.
I'm gonna ask for the board to vote on 2 resolutions that we presented over the weekend. The
Mhm.
first is to host 4 satellite locations. The weekend of May 10th and May 11th, that would be in County Office Building, CCAC Homewood, North Park, and South Park. And that would essentially be over-the-counter voting for people. They can go, they can apply for the mail-in ballot or absentee ballot, they can have it printed on site, you can take it home or turn it in there. And then the second resolution is to, again, host ballot return sites. There would be 8 off-site locations, plus the county office building for a total of 9 locations. And those would be Friday, May 16th through Monday, May 19th, so 4 days leading up to election day. And I'm sorry, the hours for the satellites would be 9 to 5, and the ballot return sites would be 11 to 7.
Great. Thank you, Director. Member Kirk, do you have questions on the proposed resolutions?
Yes, first I have 2 clerical issues. In the one with the, satellite voting, the last copy I got, at least I believe it is, the second whereas, it says there's 5 regional satellite sites, but we only have 4 listed.
Correct. We errantly submitted a first resolution that listed a location that is not available, nor had we discussed it. It was, dare I say, a copy and paste error. So
Okay.
we were just going with the 4, the county office building, North Park, South Park, and CCAC Homewood.
So we'll get that and make it a 4 instead of 5 in the whereas, if that's
Yes.
still the latest version.
Yes.
And then the other clerical issue I have is for the ballot drop-off one. It seems like it says election day is May 25th of 2025. And it's, not just one year.
I didn't notice that, but yeah, I can correct that. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, just there. And then for my true question, do we know basically what it costs to do these, and I'll preface this with, unless something is really crazy, I think these are very good, resolutions, and I think it addresses a lot of people. and what we can do. But I was curious what the cost is, because that's another question I've received in the past.
So in November, keep in mind that we did the ballot return sites twice as long. The cost in November was a total of $25,000 to do the same number of ballot return sites, but for an additional 3 days. And then for
Oh.
this, for
No, I was
this,
just gonna say, I was lower than I thought, but
Mhm.
good.
and then for the satellites, we had one additional location at Soldiers and Sailors that we did on the weekday, but we had a total overall cost of $88,000 for the satellites.
Same number of days? Just
Same-
one additional?
No,
location.
actually, I'm glad you brought that up. That was an additional 2 days for the satellites as well.
Okay.
So we're really
probably
looking to
it'll
cut our
cost
cost in half.
In half? Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're anticipating for this election, is to cut our cost in half. And looking at the return numbers, particularly for the ballot return sites, the numbers just weren't there for the first few days of it. Even popular locations like North and South Park, we had strong numbers, but we were pulling single digits at other locations, yet we were paying staff to be there for 8 hours. We had police presence there to escort the ballots back, so it was a heavy lift for 10 ballots to get returned.
Yeah, I would imagine. And then what do you think, do we know the percent of voters who utilize these sites? Because I've seen lines at North Park when I've been there
Oh,
myself.
I was at North Park, I felt those lines with you.
Cindy, do you mean percent
Yeah.
of people who vote by mail who return it by ballot drop off or
Yeah.
satellite location, or do you mean voters
I guess,
in general?
I guess people who utilize these services.
So we had 15,500 people that utilized these just in November,
Between satellites and ballot return sites?
just between satellites.
Just satellites, okay.
Ballot return sites, we had almost 11,000, 10,862.
And the one other question I had is just on the process. So if I went to North Park and I had not applied for a mail-in ballot, but I chose to, at that point, just vote that day. And from what I understand, these resolutions, that's available service,
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
As long
Right.
as you go to the satellite location and not just the drop off. The satellite location is like you're applying for your mail-in ballot, you're filling it out and you're submitting it all in one space, so that's why it's only the 10th and 11th, so that you can do it before the deadline to request the mail-in ballot. If you go to the north side, or the North Park ballot return site on the 16th through 19th, you've missed your window to apply for a mail-in ballot, and all you can do on those dates is
Oh.
submit your already received mail-in ballot.
Okay, so it's basically the same services you could get that time.
Correct.
If we saw the opposite facility. Okay, and just for verification, it looks like all the off ballots and the ballots, of course, all are staffed
Yes,
by
yes.
county workers?
They are all staffed by county employees.
Right. Okay, they look like a couple of those little clinical things, and, it sounds like a great program. It's been well thought out. I think of the locations are nicely distributed, and obviously you're auditing them to figure out where to place them and where to move them if need be, so I'm good.
Great, thank you, Member Kurt. Member Hallam, do you have additional questions on the resolutions?
No further questions, just one point of clarification. The students are going to be home from school already, and that's why we're not doing the soldiers and sailor ones, because the students won't be in, is that?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay, alright, understand that completely, then I'm very much in support of these.
Okay. And I just wanna thank the Elections Division again for, mobilizing the resources necessary in order to execute on satellite location as well as, ballot return sites. So thank you for that, and hopefully we continue to be consistent across election cycles so that the public understands that this is an option for them. So with that, do I have a motion to vote? I'll do them separately. Resolution 1, which is regarding satellite voting locations.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No opposed? The motion passes. Do I have a motion to consider, resolution Resolution 2 regarding the ballot return sites.
So moved.
In a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have one more comment.
Oh,
I have
sure.
one more comment.
Sure, Member Kirk, thank you.
Wait, I just want to point out, I bet this would probably be the first meeting of an all-female board of elections.
We can say that. That was awesome. We should clap for that.
I'll just get that on the record.
Thank you, Member Kirk, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
What-
I don't know when it'll happen again after this year.
Yeah. Appreciate it. A day in history, noted.
Yeah.
Wonderful. With that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Brilliant. We are